Section 1-3, solving equations. First of all, I want to ask, what is a solution? A solution is a number that makes the equation true. We talked the other day about having an equation where the result was 7 equals 10. So that meant that that equation was not true, therefore the number was not a solution to the equation. We use the properties of equality to solve equations, and we actually used these quite a bit in geometry when we were doing our proofs. Reflexive property, symmetric, transitive, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and substitution. You can get these in your book. They're in section 1-3. I'm not going to take the time here to go through them and have you write them all down. First we're going to do is variables on both sides. So we're going to use those properties that we just mentioned, which we have been using for quite a number of years, to solve for W. What's the first step do you want to do? What I did was I subtracted 3W from the right side and from the left, and that gave me 4W plus 2 equals 94. The next step is to subtract 2 from both sides, and then divide by 4. So in this case, W is equal to 23. Next, we're going to solve an equation using the distributive property. Here's our equation. Where do you see where we're going to use the distributive property? Right, on the left. So we're going to distribute the 2 to everything inside the parentheses. Remember, the most common mistake that you probably made in Algebra 1 was not distributing to this second term. So our next step gives us 2y minus 6 plus 6. 2y equals 70. So what does y equal? Of course, 35. Next, we want to manipulate formulas. We have a lot of formulas that we're going to use in Algebra 2, and we have to learn to manipulate them. So here I have a shape. Does anybody remember what this shape is called? Correct. It's a trapezoid. And here, to the right, area equals 1/2 the height times the sum of the two bases. That's the formula for finding the area of a trapezoid. But I want to solve for B1. What that means is I probably, if I was working on a problem, had the area and the height and B2, but what I didn't know was the length of B1. Therefore, if this was a fence, I was trying to fence in an area, I'd need to know the length of all of the sides. Here we start with the original equation, the original formula. I'm going to divide both sides by 1/2 h. That's going to give me B1 plus B2 on one side. Next, I'm going to divide, actually, excuse me, I'm going to subtract B2, and it leaves me B1 on the right side. You can do this kind of manipulation with any set formula. The next topic in this section is called using ratios. First, I want to see if you remember what a ratio is. Correct. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers. We can write it several different ways. We can write it by saying 8 to 12, 8 colon 12, or 8 over 12. Looks like a fraction, doesn't it? And the words we use to say this are the ratio is 8 to 12. However, we must always reduce. So this ratio is really 2 to 3. So that completes section 1-3. I will write your assignment on the board and we can get working. Thank you.